look up at the night sky. For all of human history, one celestial body has captivated our imagination more than any other: the moon. It's our constant companion, a silent witness to our world's story. But how much do we really know about this familiar, yet enigmatic, silver orb? It's more than just a light in the dark. It's a world of its own, with a violent past, a profound influence on our planet, and secrets we are only just beginning to uncover. Today, we journey 239,000 miles to explore the story of our moon. Our story begins over 4.5 billion years ago, in the chaotic dawn of our solar system. The young Earth was not alone. It had a cosmic twin, a Mars-sized protoplanet named Theia. In a cataclysmic event, they collided with the early Earth. The impact was unimaginable, vaporizing Theia and blasting a colossal amount of molten rock and debris from both bodies into orbit. For a time, Earth may have had a ring system, like Saturn, but gravity, the universe's great architect, began its work. Over thousands of years, this swirling ring of superheated material coalesced, pulled together, and cooled to form the moon we see today. This giant impact hypothesis is our leading theory, and it explains so much. Like why lunar rocks brought back by astronauts are so similar in composition to Earth's own crust. Our moon is, in a very real sense, a child of the Earth. So, what is this world born from fire and collision actually like? The moon is a stark, silent place. Its surface, larger than the continent of Africa, is covered in a fine, gray dust called regolith, the result of billions of years of bombardment by micrometeorites. There is no atmosphere to speak of, which means there's no wind, no weather, and no sound. A footprint left there today could remain undisturbed for millions of years. This lack of atmosphere also creates extreme temperatures. In direct sunlight, the surface can heat up to a scorching 127 degrees Celsius. But in the shadows, it plunges to a frigid -173 degrees Celsius. The moon's face is a tale of two terrains. The bright, heavily cratered areas are the lunar highlands. These are the moon's ancient crust, battered and scarred by countless impacts from asteroids and comets during a period known as the Late Heavy Bombardment. While the moon may seem stationary, it's locked in a dynamic dance with Earth. It completes one full orbit around us every 27.3 days. Curiously, it also takes exactly 27.3 days to rotate once on its own axis. This perfect synchronization, known as tidal locking, is why we always see the same face of the moon. The dark side of the moon isn't actually dark. It gets just as much sunlight as the side we see. It's simply the side we can never see from Earth. This gravitational lock isn't a one-way street. The moon's gravity pulls on Earth's oceans, creating the rhythmic rise and fall of our tides. It's a constant, powerful reminder of our deep connection. As the moon orbits the Earth, our perspective of its sunlit portion changes, giving us the beautiful and predictable cycle of lunar phases. It begins with the new moon, when the moon is between the Earth and the Sun, making it invisible to us. As it moves in its orbit, a sliver of sunlight becomes visible, growing from a waxing crescent to the first quarter, where half the moon is lit. It continues to grow, or wax, into a gibbous moon, until it reaches the opposite side of its orbit from the Sun, giving us the glorious full moon. Then, the process reverses. The light begins to wane, moving through a waning gibbous phase to the third quarter, a waning crescent, and finally back to the new moon, ready to begin the cycle all over again. For centuries, humanity dreamed of visiting the moon. That dream became a reality in the 20th century. The space race between the United States and the Soviet Union culminated in one of the greatest achievements in human history. On July 20th, 1969, a global audience held its breath as the Apollo 11 lunar module, the Eagle, descended towards the Sea of Tranquility. Then came the historic words from Neil Armstrong: "The Eagle has landed." A few hours later, he stepped onto the lunar surface, declaring it one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Over the next 3 years, 5 more Apollo missions would land on the moon. 12 astronauts walked on its surface, conducting experiments, collecting nearly 400 kilograms of lunar rocks and soil, and forever changing our relationship with our celestial neighbor. We had not just observed it, we had touched it. For decades after the Apollo missions, the moon was seen as a completely dry, desolate world. But our view is changing. A new era of lunar exploration, led by robotic orbiters and landers from various nations, has brought a stunning revelation. In 2009, NASA SLCROSS mission deliberately crashed a probe into a permanently shadowed crater near the Moon's south pole. The resulting plume of debris was analyzed, and the results were conclusive. There is water, not in liquid form, but as ice, locked away in craters that haven't seen sunlight in billions of years. This discovery is a game changer. Water is essential for life, but it's also a vital resource for future exploration. It can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen, providing breathable air for astronauts and rocket fuel for missions deeper into the solar system. The moon is no longer just a destination. It's a potential outpost, a stepping stone to Mars and beyond. Today, we are on the cusp of a new lunar renaissance. NASA's Artemis program aims to return humans to the moon, this time to establish a sustainable, long-term presence. Commercial companies and international space agencies are all setting their sights on our neighbor. We plan to build habitats, mine resources, and use the moon as a scientific laboratory to study the history of our solar system and even the universe itself. The silent, gray world that has hung in our sky for millennia is about to get a lot busier. It's a place of incredible history, profound influence, and now immense promise for the future of humanity. The next time you look up at the moon, remember its violent birth, its silent dance with Earth, and the footsteps of those who dared to visit. And know that soon we will be going back, not just to visit, but to stay. The next chapter in the moon's story is about to be written, and we will all be here to witness it. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the cosmos.